Morning, all. All right, so one game in the National Hockey League tonight. Another postponement to announce from the upcoming week as the NHL continues to navigate through everything. So we had 3 games scheduled. We got one game going on. Should be fun. It's the Edmonton Oilers and the New York Rangers. Two teams that play up-tempo styles, have exciting star players, and of course the questions about Edmonton's depth have started coming up again. So, because that's just how it works every year right now, right? So 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. It will be the 18-12-2 Edmonton Oilers, who lost their last 2 games in extra time, against the 21-8-4 New York Rangers, who are feeling pretty good about themselves right now. So November 5th, these teams played in Edmonton. That was a 6-5 overtime victory for Edmonton. I'm expecting that kind of energy again tonight. I haven't seen the confirmation yet on who's going to be in goal. I'll say Smith, and I mean, you might as well put Shesterkin in, but they could put in Georgiev, right? They could go either way with this. So yeah, that should be a fun one. McDavid, 32 games, 19 goals, 34 assists, 53 points. That's not bad. He's down from where he was early in the season, but still pretty good numbers. Darnell Nurse in 25 games, 2 goals, 12 assists, 14 points. And his new contract means that he's going to get a lot more looks and a lot more criticism than he otherwise probably would have. That's how that works when you get the big contract. On the Rangers side, Zibanejad's heating up now. 33 games, 11 goals, 19 assists, 30 points. He can be really hot and cold, but when he's hot and he's scoring goals, he makes it look easy. And Jacob Trouba, who is usually in the headlines for a hit he throws that opposing fans and opposing players don't like, 33 games, 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points. I think Trouba's having the best season he's had as a member of the Rangers thus far. So we'll see how things go tonight. Let me know in the comment section below who you think wins that game. The Montreal Canadiens, who of course been dealing with quite the outbreak themselves, are officially beginning their look for general manager, according to Pierre LeBrun. They've already put out feelers for Matthew Darch, Daniel Briere, Roberto Luongo, and others. Luongo is the one that to me is the most interesting. I think Roberto Luongo, I think he could be a very good general manager. It can be a tough call though, trying to figure out which players would make good GMs. Same with coaches, right? Where it's, well, we think this player would be a really good coach, and then sometimes your best coach is somebody who either didn't play in the NHL or played very little. So, and it could be the same with general managers too, right? So. We'll see what Montreal does, but it feels like this is going to be a process that they go through. And I would think the deadline would be, maybe a couple weeks before the draft? I would think probably the deadline. Not that they can't hire somebody sooner, but that's probably the deadline. James Neal has cleared waivers for St. Louis, so he can be assigned to the taxi squad. That's my guess of where he's going. And it's another sign that he's just not seen by NHL general managers right now as a good replacement. And again, I'm kind of surprised, only because there are so many teams that are shorthanded right now. They could just take him for nothing and put him in the lineup, and then when their lineup gets healthy, they could waive him and he can end up back in St. Louis or whatever happens, right? So I'm a little bit surprised that's not happening a little more right now than it is. So the game that is postponed is the January 6th game with Ottawa visiting Seattle. Ottawa's got another, I think, 4 guys on the list, including a coach. And so that game's been postponed. Interestingly, the next game after that's on the 8th in Vancouver. At this point, that hasn't been postponed. Now, there's a couple of things here. This may be, A, there's not enough players, and B, there's the crossing of the border if there's a positive test there. There's also been positive tests out of Toronto, including, at this point, it's just an assistant coach and Austin Matthews, but they're going to get retested and all that. So, again, the NHL is navigating this. The expectation is everybody at some point gets on the protocol list and comes off, and then hopefully it's smooth sailing from there. That's the hope, right? And that's where we're at right now. I've stopped reporting on the list because it is ridiculous. It is just so many going on, coming off, and then you get into the so-and-so tested positive yesterday, but the further testing showed negative, so it's a mess. Minnesota Wild news. So they've called up Andrew Hammond. I'm going to assume that means that Talbot might be out for a little bit. But also, Michael Russo is reporting that the Minnesota Wild are likely to call up Boldy and Rossi, both first-round draft picks, and that they could debut in the Minnesota lineup on Thursday. So that could be exciting for Minnesota fans to see both of these guys. Huge parts of the future for the Minnesota Wild franchise. And along with Kaprizov, a pretty exciting, fast, and young lineup that they can throw together. So we'll see how things go for Minnesota if, in fact, those players come in and play. I'm excited to see both, to be honest. Rossi missed all of last season, and so hopefully we see him transition to the NHL from the AHL, and I would love to see that be a successful transition. But there you go. So just the one game tonight. Let me know your winner. Let me know your thoughts regarding these news items from today. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, it's 2022. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.